You would imagine after 33 years as a successful doctor, your next calling would be retirement. Well, not if your name is Dr. James Gorman. This longtime OBGYN will now be known as an LTCOL, as in Lieutenant Colonel. KNWA's Gabriella Phelan reports.
I knew I wanted to be a doctor when I was about 4th grade.
Ever since that day, Dr. James Gorman set out to find his calling, at least as it applied to the medical field.
I was so surprised when I was in medical school. I really thought I'd be a pediatrician.
So where did he land? Obstetrics and gynecology, serving hundreds of women hand in hand right here in Fayetteville's Park Hill Clinic.
I became an OBGYN because I enjoyed the trust that is required between a patient and an OBGYN.
But decades later, one thing was clear. Time waits for no one.
I'm 63. I turned 63, and it's not as old as it sounds.
So a conversation with his wife led him to where his heart is now, pursuing a different calling, one that's always lingered in the back of his mind.
About a year ago, when I realized I had some flexibility in my career, my wife and I were talking about what else can we do? What else would we like to do? And the first thing I said was, I want to be a Navy doctor. And she said, well, that's great, let's do it.
So the 63-year-old set out to do just that, something his recruiter said was virtually unheard of.
I asked her yesterday, did you think I was crazy when I called you? She said, no, I didn't think you had a chance, but I didn't think you were crazy.
And after a long 11-month process, Dr. Gorman received his call to duty.
Navy medicine. At 63 years young, Lieutenant Commander Gorman is an absolute stud who left a successful private practice in Fayetteville, Arkansas to pursue a lifelong calling.
But he says that calling was always written on his heart.
We live in a relatively peaceful country. We enjoy daily freedoms and liberties that were earned for us by the men and women who fight for and die for our country. And I know that I won't fight for or die for the country, but I know that I can serve them. And in making the sacrifice to serve them, I know I'm serving my country.
Thursday, he raised his hand, taking the oath of enlistment.
I, James William Gorman.
Right there in his office, surrounded by friends, family, and longtime medical partners.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Presenting to you all, Lieutenant Commander Gorman.
So in 8 short weeks, he'll close the door and shut off the lights to his office at Park Hill one last time and say a bittersweet goodbye. But he believes it's all going to be worth it.
Everybody has a deep love for our country, I believe. I was raised with a deep respect for our military. I felt so complete last night. The passion is not a weakness. I'm just passionate.
How awesome is that? That's Gabriella Phelan reporting. After his training, Lieutenant Commander Gorman will be stationed at Camp Pendleton serving our Marines.